Yo, what's going on? Last time you saw me in the last YouTube video was yesterday for me, and this couple days for you. So what's going on, guys? How you doing? Welcome back to another video. So today we're gonna go ahead and get the engine dismounted from the transmission and on an engine stand so I can do the balance shaft delete. That way we can just have no issues with the balance shaft. I don't like balance shafts whatsoever. The benefits of deleting the balance shafts is better oil pressure, less stuff to go wrong, less stuff to break, less things going on in the timing. So that way it's way easier to put in time, way easier to just go ahead and slap a belt on it if you need to or not. And like I said, less stuff to break. And yeah, it's gonna have a little bit more vibrations, but I don't care, cause I'm gonna put more sound deadening in it anyway, and I'm gonna have a sound system in it, so it's gonna bump either way, so I'm not gonna really listen to it. And I daily my drift car, so it's already gonna be a little bit better luxury for me anyway. But anyway, let's get to the shop. So we made it to the shop and I got the motor right here. So let's go ahead and get this motor onto a stand. I just gotta take the transmission off. I've been here for a while, as you can see. But let's just get the transmission off, get it on the stand. I do need to take the intake off, and a couple other things. But after that, we should be good. So let's get to it. Actually, I just realized I gotta get the harness off the intake since I'm not gonna be using the intake. So let's start with that first. Get the intake off. Also, you're in video. I am? Mm-hmm. I love you, son. So we got the motor on the engine stand and we got the intake off. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the Skunk 2 intake manifold, put it on, get the throttle body on, and get everything else ready to go. And then either later on tonight or tomorrow, hopefully I have time, but I'm gonna tear down the front of the engine and get the block torn down. So that way we can do the balance shaft delete. That way I can do the balance shaft delete. And then I'm gonna replace these hoses too, and then all of these hoses. And I think I got a new thermostat as well, so we're just going to replace that. I'm not gonna replace this yet, but I'm gonna replace it later. So now, take off the valve cover and the timing belt and the front balancer. And then after that, I can take the timing belt off, take this mount off, and then I'm gonna flip it over, take the oil pan off, and then take the oil pump off. Or I don't know if I have to do that yet. I don't think so, but we will see. I got everything else ready to go. I'm gonna have to clean out the transmission. I need a new throwout bearing and slave. And I might get the new seals for the transmission as well, just so that way we can take care of it. And then I'm gonna take care of this, all this wiring. I don't like how the wiring looks, so we're gonna take care of it. And I think I need some new shifter bushings too, because these are just shot. And after that, we should be good to go. Oh, also, I want to see what injectors these are, because from what the last owner told me, he told me that they were upgraded injectors, but he didn't know side. I'm gonna take them out and check, but from looking at them, they look like they're OEM. Yo, what's going on? So today is the next day. We got the engine on the stand yesterday, tore down the majority of the block. I mean, I didn't take the head off because I'm not going to. I took the intake off, checked inside the head. The head's clean, there's I don't know what. So today we're gonna be disassembling the block, the oil pan, and the girdle, so that way we can do the balance shaft delete. After that, I'm gonna seal the motor back up and start putting it back together, because literally the only reason I have it on the stand right now is to do the balance shaft delete, rear main seal, and put the Skunk 2 intake manifold on with a 70mm throttle body. And we should be good for the time being to put the motor back together. Oh, new timing belt, and then we should be good to put everything back together. But let's get down to the shop and start tearing apart this block. Made it to the shop. So I got the H22 set up right there. So basically what we need to do is I'm gonna get the valve cover removed, oil pan, timing belt removed, and start getting everything ready to go. I got all new lines coming for this. I got new thermostat. I got all new hoses that I want to get on here, because these are just a pain in the ass to do in the car, so we might as well do them now. You know what I mean? So got that. I got a new rear main seal, new gasket. I'm gonna do a thermal gasket on here because I heard it lowers your intake temps, and the dude who I got the motor from just replaced them. I don't know if you can tell, but from in here they look really good. So that's one thing. Also, so the harness is kind of janked in certain places, like all these wires hanging now is weird connectors. This connector's broken. So later on in another video, I'm gonna reloom this harness. Luckily it's not that big of a harness and everything's already has a location that it's going to, so that's what I'm gonna do, and that way I can go ahead and make sure this harness is gonna work right. I'm gonna check over all the wires, make sure all the wires are good, make sure everything's intact. But I'm gonna get started removing all this stuff off the block. I'll see you guys in a sec. Let me know if you guys like these time lapses or not, because I'm probably just gonna time lapse it real quick. So let's get started. So we got the valve cover and oil pan off, and I'm about to get that off, but I found a discovery in the oil pickup tube. That concerns me, but we're gonna get the windage tray off, and we're gonna get the pickup tube off, and then the oil pump off, and then we'll be able to get underneath and see the cradle. But other than that, it is clean in here, but from oil and gas mixing, it is kind of sludgy down in here, and there's particles from the valve cover in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean that out in the parts washer over there, and then once I get all this stuff off, we'll be able to see what's going on. I don't know if you guys have ever taken it apart, so all I got to do is literally just take this off, take the top part off, take the oil pump off, slide the balance shafts out, and see what happens. But I'm gonna put y'all in time-lapse mode, and then I'll explain during time-lapse or after. We will see what happens. So I'm gonna put y'all back up in time-lapse, and I'm gonna get back to work. So we got the oil pump off. I see dude RTV'd a lot, so I'm gonna have to go back through and clean this all out and clean this up. But inside looks not too bad. It looks like it was really taken care of, but I'm gonna take this girdle off. I already took the balance shafts out, they're already on the ground. I'm gonna go through here with a razor blade, clean all this off, clean all of it off the oil pump, because the oil pump's brand new. Then I'm gonna take off the girdle, And after we take off the girdle, we'll be able to see exactly what the main bearings look like. After that, we can do the whole balance shaft completely delete. And then I'm gonna take off the caps, check to make sure the bearings in there are good, reseal everything, and call it a day. I know I've been time lapsing a lot, so for right now, I'm gonna just cut to the clip of everything being apart, because after this is really straightforward. I'm gonna just cut to the part to where I'm doing the actual delete on the actual girdle with the tap and all that stuff. So let's get into that, and I'll see y'all in a sec. All right, so we got them all out, and the bearings look really good. But anyway, so what we need to do now is we need to get this dowel pin out, that one, and that one. And we need to put these three and this big one in here. So after we do that, I'm gonna replace this gasket right here, this O-ring. And then after that, I can put the caps back on. We should be good to go. So I'll see you guys when I have everything in here, and I'll show you guys what I did. So we got all the little dowel pins pressed in and everything. I'm gonna replace this O-ring real quick with this OEM Honda one. I will give y'all the part number, but I already ripped up the bag. If I can, I'll put it on the screen right here. But anyway, after that, after I put the O-ring on, I can put all the last cap back on. After I put the last cap, we're gonna go over there, finish up what we need to do on the block. Then after that, we should be good to go to put it back in. So let's get to that. All right, so now we got the plug in the block. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this whole section back onto the motor. Then after that, I'm gonna go ahead, torque them down to spec, put everything back together. So let me explain to you what you have to do. So I got that done. Now, when you come over here, there's a little port down in here that you have to blow out. That you have to use the tap they gave you in the kit to put in. Then there's a little Allen key. You put a blue or red Loctite on, and then you tighten it into the hole down in here. I don't know if y'all can see it. And then before you do that, blow it out with some air and a rag. That's what I had to do. But I sat there with brake cleaned all the way around, got all the shavings out. So now I'm gonna clean off these surface areas, apply some assembly lube, and put the cradle back on. And then after that, we'll start reassembling the oil pump, get the oil pump cleaned off, get everything clean, and then we should be good. So let's get started with putting the cradle back on. All right, we got the bearing caps on. Let's go ahead and torque them down to spec. So let's get started with that. All right, so we got this torque down. Now let's put the windage tray. Let's get the oil pump prepped and get that on. So I'll catch y'all when, because I don't have a filmer right now, I'm by myself. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do all that, get it back together, and I'll hit y'all when I'm done with that. Cause I mean, y'all been seeing a lot of time lapse today, and I don't have another filmer to get like B-roll or anything right now. So sorry about that, but I'm gonna go ahead and get all that put back together and get all this done, and we should be good. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the oil pan and get all that stuff back together. And then once I do that, I can put the crank pulley back on. I can put it in time, and hopefully we'll be straight after that. So let's get going on that and get everything done, and we should be good. So I'll see y'all when the engine is semi back together. Oh, speaking of, I turned the motor too quick and cracked the distributor cap, so I need one of those, a new one of those. Yay. I'm gonna go over the parts list after we put this together. So let's get to it and get this done. So, cause it is 10:30 right now. I'm tired and I'm about ready to go home. So let's hurry up and get this back together. All right, I'm finally back. It is 1:06 in the morning. I got everything back together. KS Tunes on there. Shout out to them for the balance shaft delete. Got the plug in there. There's a plug behind here. I got the Gates racing timing belt on. Everything's in time. So tomorrow, I gotta put the oil pan gasket on and valve cover gasket on. I ain't gonna do it tonight because I'm ready to go home. But right now, I wanna see if I can find these hoses, all of these hoses, and I need to get a new thermostat. I don't know if you guys can see, but I cracked the distributor cap. So now I gotta I'm gonna take it apart tomorrow and see if I can go get a distributor cap, because I don't think anything in there is broke. But other than that, valve cover gasket, got an exhaust manifold gasket, got valve cover gasket, need to go get oil pan gasket. I put a brand new rear main seal in. I still got the covers right here. I'm gonna put those on after my dad checks the timing. I'm sorry, I triple, double check, quadruple check my work. And for anybody doing timing, if it's your first time or any single time you do timing, quadruple check it. I don't care how many times you did. I checked mine about 5 or 6 times, fully rotated, everything looks in line, but I'm gonna let my dad check over the belt tension and all that stuff, make sure that's straight. But other than that, the motor's coming along good. Now next, all I gotta do, get the radiator hoses for it, make sure everything else is straight on the motor. I already got the throttle body, already got the throttle body gasket. And yeah, people were telling me to just reuse this gasket, but I'm gonna get the thermal gasket because I've been hearing a lot of good things about it. We should be good, but yeah, I want you guys to know that I'm coming back to YouTube because I really like filming, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, in the last couple years after COVID, my social anxiety was bad, like real bad. And I had a lot of stuff mentally I had to take care of. I'm gonna just be transparent with you guys because I know some people were wondering where I was, some people weren't. Like I said, I only got 50 subscribers right now, but just know that I'm okay and everything's good. So, and I'm fully back and I'm not gonna stop grinding. And I mean that for a fact. I'm really trying to finish this series off with a banger, and I wanna make sure this car runs real good. And this summer, I want you guys to look out for a lot of drifting content. And in the next month or two, we're gonna have a lot of E46 content as well, because I need to get that ready for drift season and make sure everything's good on that. So I'm gonna see you guys later. Be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.